Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Tasiyat coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahasham Yahawashi, Bahasham Kakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across this world who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the election be upon your households. Khan Shalom. So today I want to make a video about that King Solomon is Yahawashi. Okay, vice versa. They are the same spirit, the same soul. Alright. Now in my previous video about when was Yahawashi anointed to be king, I spoke about making this video so Yahweh Tasa, I can go into it right now, and Lord willing it will be edifying. So last time we went into the Yahawashi was anointed to be king when he was King Solomon. Now people might say, like, what do you mean when he was King Solomon? Like, is there reincarnation or something? And we be like, yes, there is reincarnation. Okay, reincarnation, back in the flesh. So you come after a few generations back upon this planet Earth. Okay, if you were born a man, you're gonna come back as a man. Okay, if you were born a woman, you're gonna come back as a woman. Okay, if you were born an Israelite man, you're gonna come back as what? As an Israelite man. Okay, but if you are born, let's say, an animal, you're not gonna come back as a human or something crazy like that. Okay, there's one type of flesh of beast, one type of flesh of man, like the scripture says. All right, so the topic concerning reincarnation, you can read about that in 2 Esdras 14 and 35, verse 35. Okay, you can read about it in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, if I'm correct. Okay, so that's another topic. But just for you to understand a bit that reincarnation is real. So wait a minute, if reincarnation is real, then where does hell come into play? The hell doesn't exist, man, as a place where Hades waits on you or Satan waits on you to burn you forever. Okay, it's basically a condition that you go through. That's why you say you go through hell. All right, and the hell in the Greek or in the Hebrew, in the Hebrew word in the book of Jonah. Okay, when you go there, let me go there real quick. Let's see, Jonah, because Jonah said he was in the belly of hell. How could he be in the belly of hell when he was swallowed up by a big fish? What does that show you? That the fish is hell? Of course not. It's a condition that you go through, man. So Jonah chapter 2 verse 1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his power out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. You see? So he cried out of hell. Now, when you go to hell, it's Sha'awal in the Hebrew, and it means basically, in the outline of biblical usage, it means Sha'al. It says underworld, grave. Okay, it means the grave, right? Doesn't mean that you're gonna go to hell where you burn forever, man. Now, with that being said, reincarnation is real. So we're gonna go into the topic to show you that Yahawashi was King Solomon. Now, let's start at 2 Samuel chapter 7. Let me go here. 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 12. And when thy days shall be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers. He's speaking about King David. Okay? And sleep with thy fathers basically when you are dead. Okay, because another thing, how you can look at death is you are sleeping. That's what the Lord said to Lazarus, if I'm correct, right? He's just asleep. I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels. Okay, he comes, the seed coming from King David. And I will establish his kingdom. Now the seed of King David is King Solomon, right? Because King Solomon is the son of King David. Now, was his kingdom established? Yes, it was. For how long? For 40 years. So when you read on, it's going to show you that his kingdom is going to be established forever. Okay, it says verse 13, he shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Did King Solomon rule forever? No, he ruled for 40 years. So is the Most High lying here then? No, he's not a liar, because he said out of his seed, would somebody come that the Most High would give him the kingdom forever, establish his throne forever. Who is this talking about then? If it's not talking about King Solomon, it's talking about Yahawashi. Okay, now we're gonna read on to further explain this topic. It says, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. That's, Yahawashi is the son of the Most High. If he commit iniquity, so sin after sin after sin, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. So, did King Solomon commit iniquity? Meaning, did he commit sins? Yes, he did. He went to serve other gods. Okay, of all the females that he had, he went to serve their gods. That made the Most High very angry. And that is sinning, because you're not supposed to be worshiping other gods, right? What did the Most High do? Did the Most High punish King Solomon with the rod of men and with the stripes of children of men, basically beating him, letting him being beat with a whip? No. He did not die like that. So when did this happen then? Because the Most High said he would make it happen, right? So this happened when he was Yahawashi. When he came back as Yahawashi, he understood what he had done when he was King Solomon. And he was being crucified because also he himself had committed sins in his past life when he was King Solomon. Now on top of that, he took upon himself the punishment of the whole nation of Israel. Okay? And that is extraordinary. You see? He took upon himself the punishment of the whole nation of Israel. So now we have a way back to the Father. All right? With his stripes we are healed, like Isaiah 53 shows you. It says, but my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. Okay, and thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever. Okay, according to all these words and according to all these visions, so did Nathan speak unto David. Now, Yahawashi is King Solomon. Alright? Let me go here to John 16, verse 11. Let me see what it says here. Of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged. Okay, so if I'm correctly speaking about, of course, Yahawashi receiving his judgment, but I'm not sure about this one. But let me go here to what else did I have? Yahawashi was King Solomon's 2 Samuel. Basically, that is basically the point, but we're gonna go to the book of Psalms, chapter 110, to show you again a question. Okay, and before I go here, actually, let me see, 2 Samuel 7:14, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. Now, King Solomon, like I said, he went off serving other gods of his wives. Okay, but he did not die by receiving stripes of men. Alright, let me see. In the hand of King Solomon. No. It's in the book of Kings. Let me see. Is it at the end? And also to show you that King Solomon had multiple wives. Okay, he had 300 wives. And 700, I believe 300 wives, 700 concubines, or vice versa. Wives, let me show this, wives, concubines, because I don't want to forget this point. 1 Kings 11 and 3, God. Now, let me start at verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, okay, heathen women, Gentiles, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, which are Chinese, so-called Chinese nowadays, Ammonites, which are so-called Japanese, Edomites, which are so-called white people, Sidonians and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, He shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. So we're actually not supposed to lay with these heathen females, because they can make us forget basically about serving the Most High Yahweh and serve their gods, their idols. Okay? Solomon clave unto these in love, and he had 700 wives. 700 wives, okay? Princesses, and 300 concubines. And his wives turned away his heart. So that's what happened. He turned his back to the Most High, basically, and served other gods. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods. And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his power, as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. Okay, these other gods, which are no gods. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord. So this is iniquity, right? Which we read in 2 Samuel chapter 7. Now, if he would commit iniquity, what would happen to him? He would be punished with the stripes of men, with the rod of men, you know. And did it happen to him? No, it didn't happen to him. So when did it happen? When he came back as Yahawashi. All right? And don't think that Yahawashi was wicked. When he came as Yahawashi, he was perfect. He did not commit any sin. He was without spot, without blemish, without spot, because he didn't commit any sin. All right? And his heart was not perfect with the Lord his power, as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after, okay, we read that. Verse 6, and Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. Then did Solomon build an high place of Shemos, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. And the Lord was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Lord power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods. But he kept not that which the Lord commanded. You see, so he committed iniquity. Wherefore the Lord said unto Solomon, For as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. Notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rent it out of the hand of thy son. Howbeit I will not rent away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake which I have chosen. Now let's jump down. It says, verse 41. Let me start at verse 40. Solomon sought therefore to kill Jeroboam, and Jeroboam arose and fled into Egypt, unto Shishak king of Egypt, and was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. And the rest of the acts of Solomon, and all that he did, and his wisdom, are they not written in the book of the acts of Solomon? And the time that Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel was 40 years. So did he rule forever? No, for 40 years. And Solomon slept with his fathers. He was dead, and was buried in the city of David, his father. So where do you read that King Solomon was punished with the stripes of men, meanwhile he did commit iniquity? Nowhere. When did it happen? When he was Yahawashi, as we all know, when he was crucified. And Rehoboam his son reigned in his stead. Now, another point, in the book of Psalms, chapter 110. Verse 1. A psalm of David, because a guy came to camp saying that this is speaking about King David. No, this is King David himself speaking, okay? The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. So, who is the Lord talking about? The Lord is the Most High Yahweh. Okay? Said unto my Lord, which is Solomon, but actually Yahawashi, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. Okay, now King David called his son Solomon his Lord. Why? Why would he call Solomon Lord if it's his son? Because Solomon is Yahawashi. Okay, and he would set him at the right hand. Okay, let's read it again, and then we're gonna go to a precept. Psalm 110 verse 1. A psalm of David. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. Okay, so let's go to Matthew 22 verse 31. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahawashi asked them, saying, what think ye of Messiah? Whose son is he? Because the word Christ is Messiah in the Hebrew, which means anointed. Whose son is he? They say unto him, the son of David. Okay, so he asked the Pharisees, who do you think I am? He said unto them, how then doeth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If David then call him Lord, how is he his son? Like I just said, why would he call his son Lord? And no man was able to answer him a word. Neither durst any man from that day forth ask him any more questions. Okay? They could not answer him. Alright? Let me see. Unto my... Also, I believe Luke. Yeah, basically that's the same, if I'm correct. Psalms, yeah. But I want to grab something else also. Going to the book of Acts chapter 7, verse 55. But he, being full of the Holy Spirit, who is he talking about? About Stephen, looked up steadfastly into heaven, and saw the glory of Yahweh, and Yahawashi standing on the right hand of Yahweh. Okay, so he's standing on the right hand of the Most High, and said, behold, I see the heavens opened, and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of Yahweh. Also another point to show that the Son of Man refers to Yahawashi in this case. Some cases it refers to actual man, like in the book of Ezekiel, but in the book of Revelation chapter 1, when it says Son of Man, it describes how Yahawashi looks like. Okay, that he is a dark-skinned man with white woolly hair, the white of his eyes is red, okay, and he has a powerful voice. And he has a garment on, of course, to cover himself. Clothing, that is clothing. But anyway, just to show you that who's on the right hand of the Most High. And this is also speaking about Yahawashi. So I hope overall that all these scriptures combined, make you understand that King Solomon is Yahawashi. Alright? So with that, Yahweh Tassad was edifying. I want to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the election be upon your household. God shalom.